What's up, guys? I got the keys here back with another video. So, have you ever felt like you've done the identity work, you've shifted your internal state, but you're still not seeing things in the physical world? Well, there's a perfectly good reason, and we don't understand that certain types of manifestations will take more time, especially like relationships or money, because we have so many limiting beliefs behind them, so many limiting assumptions of how that would come in, or you know uh, just how we get it, or how we would acquire that thing, right? Um, but the truth is that you already have it, right? Because you're already everything. So reality, this reality, right? This 3D, 4D world is a delayed manifestation of yesterday's and past thoughts, right? The things you've thought, imagined, um, pictured from yesterday are what you are now seeing today, right? Um, Now, this doesn't always happen in, a day, but you can see as to where you're, like, how you feel and what you see happening in reality was a prior thought, right? From either yesterday, the day before, or whatever. Um, so reality, like the physical reality, the matrix, is a delayed manifestation of your imagination, right? Everything here is imagined, including other people. Okay. Even the visual of yourself is imagined. You are imagining what you look like. So you do not look like what you look like to yourself, to other people. Does that make sense? So you think you look this way because you're seeing it, right? But to other people, you look completely different. Um, and this is why they say beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right? Um, so this just shows how malleable that reality actually is. Anything that you can hold in your imagination can become physical. Okay. Um, your imagination is the key to manifestation. Okay. Um, and it is the biggest piece of understanding manifestation. Now, you don't need to apply so much pressure to yourself in learning how to manifest and whatever. Understand that you've been manifesting your entire life. Okay. Um, you may not notice how you've been doing it, and that's the only difference now, is that now you are aware of it, right? So now you're aware of what thoughts come into your head. Now you're aware of what you feel in your body. Now you're aware of your emotions. Now you're aware of the negative thoughts that come in and try to block what's coming, right? Um, and even when I talk about it coming, right, it's not really in the future, so to say, because everything is now. So we perceive it as the future, but it's really happening right now. See, there's a simultaneous version of you right now that's living the life that you're picturing. And the person that the vision that you're picturing, right, is a real reality. Okay. Um, it might seem imaginary and fake to you, but in truth, this is actually real prayer. This is real thought. Okay. It's not just, oh, thinking words, right? No, I'm thinking a mental picture in my head of the car or the house or the person or the relationship or whatever, right? So I have this mental picture and I have a certain intention behind that picture. And I'm also feeling what it's like to be in that right now. Therefore, it creates this imaginal scene. Okay. And the more that we impress the subconscious mind or the heart with that vision, right? Um, which is where you will get feelings. Okay. Feelings are the language of the soul. So I'm not talking about emotions here, right? We're talking about a feeling of being rich, a feeling of being magnetic, a feeling of being, etc. Okay, because emotions are just moving energy, right? So it's not the same thing as a feeling, right? So these things are what actually manifests our reality. Okay, so if you can hold the vision in your mind even one time and know that it's yours, it is now yours. Okay, um, even before you ask, the Bible says it shall be yours, right? Um, and what you ask for, you shall receive. Now, asking isn't simply saying, God, please give me this, right? It's not begging God to bring something down to you. No, it is imagining the scene, putting it in the mind, putting it in the subconscious mind, and changing identity into that person. That is a real prayer. Um, Not only that, but stating who you are. So when you say I am, that is God, that is creation, right? That is creator. So when you say I am something, it is now real. Now, just saying it isn't going to instantly change reality, right? But the more that you say it to yourself, the more that you say it in your mind, and the more that the subconscious takes it in, you become exactly what you say. So if you say, I am broke, okay, well, then your subconscious takes that in and says, okay, he's broke. Let's give him more of that, right? If you say, I am rich, it gives you more of reasons to see why you're rich. And it might not always be physical money, right? But it might be rich in friends. It might be rich in groceries. It might be rich in, whatever. But it's the point here. So you have to get specific. um I am the person that has this car. I am the person that has this house. I am the person that has financial freedom. I am the person that always attracts money easily and frequently to me, right? These are the things that you should be saying to yourself, not, oh, I can't afford that and I can't. Trust me, I used to do it. I used to do the same thing, guys, and I still catch myself sometimes saying things that are not true, because this is the ego speaking, right? And you realize it's the lower mind not understanding reality, the real reality of imagination, right? So if we come back into the imaginal scene, anytime that something comes up and it says it's not yours, or it's still on the way, or whatever, right? You want to block that, and you want to say, like, you can have the thought, right? You can have the negative thought, but understand that you can change it. So we don't want to focus on the negative thought, but when we get it, now we're aware of the negative thought and we can change it. Okay, because the negative thoughts are the old self showing up. I've said this before. um this is basically the old self trying to stay safe. It's trying not to disappear, because the new self is coming in, and um you're embodying that. So it takes changes within your life, right? So, like for me, I told you guys, I've been working on my wealth. I've been working on abundance. I've been working on money. I've been working on success, relationships, all of it, right? And um, I've had to take so many steps to get to where I am today. Um, Now, really, the only step is changing identity completely and knowing that it's yours. But sometimes that takes a physical action for you to truly believe that, right? So, for me, I've been paying off debts. And for me, that is like getting rid of my old self, because I'm paying off something that has had a weight over me, um, over the years of, you know, spending this money. So, me paying off that debt is almost like a release of weight from my entire vessel. And I no longer have this weighing on my mind either, right? So that's the point of me doing that. So it's the same thing with anything else in life, when you're manifesting anything, right? And the truth is, you aren't even manifesting anything, because you are already it. Everything is you. So the car, the job, the other person. It's all you. It's all consciousness, right? So when I say you, I don't mean the ego you, right? I mean consciousness. Um, and that is awareness. That is the true God, right? That is God. Um, and God is not separate from you, right? Even when I've said in the past that you are not the most high God, I didn't mean it as in um, you're not, it's not that you're not God, right? Because it's that you're one with God. Okay? So there's a relationship between you. It lives within everything. Okay? And when I say in you, I mean in your body, in the ego, right? Um, so I am is your true identity, but sometimes I'm speaking in you, the ego, versus you, the higher self. Um, so it can get a little mixy with the language barrier, but truthfully, anything that you put your mind to and you take actions to get to, you will get there. Trust in the journey, trust in yourself, and have the faith to know it's already yours. Okay. So, if you are struggling with this, I would encourage you to hop on a one-on-one with me. If you're, seeking some guidance on this, right? All my information will be down in the description. So just send me an email with your name and what's kind of going on, a short description. And I will see you guys in the next one. Okay. Drop a like, subscribe, and drop a comment on your experience with imagination and how that's been. I would love to see that. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.